I'm here to talk about what it's like to be gay in Southern schools, specifically middle school. You can assume that it's really terrible because I feel the need to talk about it here. Oh God, sorry. I'm sorry, I've never done this before. I do theater, but I work backstage. So, you know, I'm never seen on stage. So this is a first. I'm wasting my time. Okay, so, thank you. You're wonderful. So, every single day when you wake up and you think of going to a place that hates you for existing, you can assume that it is not the best experience. And I experienced that for an entire school year. There were so many people that gave me death glares and hated me for existing and hated all of my friends for existing. Because we aren't straight or cis. I'm trans and bi, and they don't understand that. And it makes it really hard to learn when people are discriminating against you because you aren't like them. English class or first period, there were girls and boys who would put normal as their pronouns, and just hated me every time I talked. And, me and my friend Sam, we took that and we assumed that all other gay people at our school were going through the same thing. So we created a club called Rice that was a gay club for LGBTQ people, and it was run by our art teacher. But when we were creating that, we ran into a lot of problems. People would rip down the posters off the walls and crumble them up and throw them in the trash. They would scowl at me because they knew that I was part of that. They would say that they were joining it and that they were gay themselves, and then create like a really stupid sexuality, like, I'm truck sexual, like, good for you. But it was really hard to, deal with that. And I don't think that they realized that they were making my life a living hell. It was a lot to deal with every day. And sometimes I wouldn't go to school because I couldn't handle it anymore. I think my parents can tell you that. I stayed home a lot. And my grades suffered because of it, and my mental health suffered, and there were a lot of times that I just said, hey, why don't I just go back and pretend that I was cis and straight to get away from it all? And that wasn't right, and it wasn't okay for them to make me feel that way. But they did it anyway, fully knowing that it wasn't right to do that. And instead of saying, hey, we should stop being assholes to a 14-year-old that is just trying to get into high school. But instead they were like, no, I'm gonna bother him because that's fun for me. And I don't have any other hobbies or personality traits. So I think they kind of assumed that if they bullied me enough, I would go back to being straight. And I think that's not how that works. I don't know. Can somebody tell me if that's how it works? So it's tough. It's really tough. And I think that some of you in here who are LGBTQ plus can say that it's no better in the real world. There are middle-aged women and men who do the same thing as middle schoolers. I find that kind of funny that they didn't evolve. It doesn't get better, and that's a problem. It's 2022, and we still have people that say that being gay is a sin, and that trans people will go to hell. And that if you aren't a white, cis, straight male, I know it's a mouthful, that you are not right, and that you should change that. And I think we should take a step back and question why that is. Why middle-aged women and men and middle school children feel the need to put people down because they aren't cis, straight, and white, when they fully know that you can't change any of that, and that you were born like that, you were born this way, and that it takes confidence and self-love to accept the fact that you are different, that you're gay or you're trans, and that it's not something that you can change, and it shouldn't be something that you have to change. It should be something that is accepted and loved and a part of life, that people can say that, yeah, that's okay that my child is bisexual or my child's non-binary, and that's fine. But instead, our society thinks that, oh, my son wants to wear a skirt. That's not right, that a piece of cloth put on his hips is a sin, and that he should go to conversion therapy. No, that's what they did in wars. It didn't end well, did it? And I don't know why we consider that normal life, and that homosexuals are like, well, homophobic people exist, and they're always gonna exist. And that's fine, I can deal with it, and we shouldn't have to. They shouldn't be bothered in the first place by it. It doesn't affect you. I'm sorry that your daughter is hot to me. It's not your problem. Oh, your son kissed another child's son. Oh boy. Oh, jinkies. Oh, no. It's not a problem. It's not your life. It's not your decision to make. It's theirs. It's their life. And you shouldn't be bothered by it. And to all of the LGBTQ people in here, we don't live long enough. We live 85, 95 years if we're lucky. And it's not that much time. If we're gonna be honest with ourselves, we don't live long enough to care. We shouldn't care about who kisses who, or what gender somebody wants to identify as, or what pronouns somebody uses. We don't live long enough to care what people do with their lives, and I think that should change. So the next time you see or probably hear a homophobic person shouting slurs and saying that being gay is a sin and stuff like that, I think you should just either look away or tell them, hey, you're 35. You have an office job. Maybe get to that instead of worrying what a 15-year-old does. It's not your job. They're a minor. You're 40. Please, stop worrying what teenagers do. You have a job and a husband and kids. Worry about them, please. I don't want to walk out into the streets and be seen with my boyfriend or a trans flag and being out because it's a good thing. And then some middle-aged dude in a camo hat and a camo pants and camo shirt and camo shoes, so much camo, what are you hiding from? Goes and says, you are gay. Stop. Why do I have to worry about that? I'm 14. Why do I have to worry about what a 37-year-old does with a broken marriage and a smoking problem? So I'm going to wrap it up because I'm rambling and saying things over and over again. But thank you for listening to me, and thank you for laughing at all of the dumb things that I say. And have a great rest of your church day, and the rest of your days, and the rest of your week, and the rest of your life. Bye.